Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Uma Talks. Hi, guys, this is your girl, Uma B, and I am here tonight with a very special episode because March is Women's History Month. So, of course, our topics in March are going to be focusing on women and issues concerning women. So before we begin, I just want to shout out and welcome everybody who's watching me right now. If you are on YouTube, Facebook, Meet Me, or TikTok, please feel free to say hello so I can say hi back before we get into this very, very interesting talk. So I see TikTok is very talkative. Hi, Black China, Mary, Manda, Britt. Appreciate you guys for being here. Lots of love to you guys. Welcome in. And Julie, I see you. And to everybody on Meet Me, as well as YouTube and Catherine. Hi, Catherine. Welcome in, love. Welcome in. I'm so excited to see so many women showing up because this talk is so important. Believe it or not, most of us have a mother's wound and we need womb healing. All right, so let's jump into it. Our talk today is going back, way back to our womb stories. So, welcome to our talk today, Healing the Mother Wound, a womb shadow healing journey. It is time to reclaim your feminine power lost since you were a child. Healing the mother wound is a transformative process that allows women to reclaim their power, their self worth, and emotional freedom. It is deeply connected to ancestral healing, shadow work, and personal empowerment. If you have ever felt unworthy, unloved, emotionally disconnected, or struggled with your own self love, this talk today is for you. Let's heal, release, and reclaim the sacred wisdom within. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Uma, and I am a healer, a soul alignment coach, and the owner of the Lotus and the Light Metaphysical Center. I work with women, mostly women, on a daily basis for them to heal their inner wounds and reclaim their personal power. So, this talk tonight is one of my favorite talks to give because it's a reminder to women that you are not alone in what you feel, and you can definitely overcome whatever you feel is holding you back. Okay. Jackie, hello. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Erin. Welcome in. Hi, Eddie. And may I call you Queen Uma instead? Welcome in. Thank you for being here. All right. So, why is healing the mother wound crucial for women's empowerment? Well, there are several reasons. Most notably, number one is to break generational cycles. The mother wound is often passed down through generations. Women inherit beliefs, limiting beliefs, unprocessed trauma, and societal conditioning from their mothers and their grandmothers. By healing the mother wound, women can break free from cycles of self sacrifice, guilt, perfectionism, and people pleasing, paving the way for future generations to live with more self love and confidence. Let's just take a quick survey of everybody who's watching right now. To all the women watching, put a one in the comments if you are someone who has suffered from feelings of self sacrifice, guilt, having to be perfect, and always wanting to people please. Yeah, thank you. See, so many of you are coming forward and putting the ones. I appreciate you. Thank you. So, This talk is very important. Number two, why should we heal the mother wound? Because women, especially today in this climate, need to reclaim their self worth and authenticity. Many women struggle with feelings of not being enough because of childhood wounds, whether from a critical, distant, or overprotective mother. Healing the mother wound helps women to stop seeking external validation. How many of us, right, seek external validation, especially from men? It also teaches us to set healthy boundaries without guilt and to own our truth and authentic desires. Another reason why we want to heal the mother wound is because it actually strengthens the relationships in our lives. Unhealed wounds can cause codependency, fear of abandonment, or even emotional detachment in relationships. How many of you can agree with that? Holly said, so true. Well, when you heal the mother wound, it can manifest as healthier romantic relationships, deeper sisterhood connections, and better mothering for your children or your future children. Another reason why we want to heal the mother wound is because do you know it can actually unlock our feminine power and intuition? Yes, it can. Remember, your womb is your space of energetic centering of a woman's intuition, her creativity, and divine feminine power. When your womb space is blocked by unhealed trauma, women can feel disconnected from their inner voice and struggle with self trust. A lot of you can relate to that, right? When you have to make decisions and you really are indecisive or don't know where to go or how to trust anything. That is a result of wombs that need healing. Also, when you heal the mother wound, it restores your ability to trust your gut instincts, to embrace your sensuality, and manifest abundance with ease. Can you believe it? All of that tied up in your womb and not being able to access it because of our trauma. You know, another thing that I like doing when I work with the mother wound is helping women to release the guilt and shame around success. Oh, yes. A lot of women actually hold a subconscious fear. And when I say it, if you're watching live, please feel free to let me know in the comments if this is you. Do you know that many women subconsciously fear outshining their mothers or stepping into their full power due to generational conditioning? There is a belief that women must be selfless or not too ambitious to keep them small. Healing this wound allows women to own their success without guilt and embody their fullest potential. Thank you, Jackie. She says, yes, that hits. Also, when we heal this wound, it's going to cultivate inner mothering and self love to a higher degree. When our inner mother is healed, women stop looking for love externally. A lot of us can relate to that, right? With all the different partners we've been through. And women learn to nurture themselves. This can look like emotional self sufficiency, increased confidence and self compassion, and a wholeness and sense of belonging. It can empower women to create change because remember, a healed woman is an empowered woman. She becomes a leader, healer, and change maker. When women heal themselves, they can inspire others to do the same. They can break patriarchal and societal conditioning and create a ripple effect of empowerment in families, communities, and future generations. Ladies, healing the mother wound is not just personal, it's revolutionary. When women own their worth, trust themselves, and embody their power, they become unstoppable forces of change. And I say this not just from being a healer, but from my own personal testament of healing the mother wound. I myself had a mother wound that I had to work on and I had to heal. And the first thing I noticed was an increased confidence in myself and the peace in myself. And then I became an inspiration to others, teaching other women how to trust themselves and to embody their power. Healing the mother wound is something every woman needs to do. And I hope that you guys enjoy this talk today and it's relatable for you to help heal your mother wound. So before I go further, ladies, anyone has anything you want to drop in the comments, and give me time if you drop your comments because I am on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Meet Me. So I just want to make sure that I get to everybody's comments, okay? Okay, let's actually define what the mother wound is. The mother wound refers to the deep emotional pain, unmet needs, and limiting beliefs that we inherit from our mothers and our maternal lineage. Now, I got to remind you, ladies, this is not about blaming our mothers, but it's about recognizing how generational patterns of wounding, trauma, and societal conditioning have shaped our sense of self. Women throughout history have often been expected to suppress their emotions, sacrifice their needs, and prioritize others, creating cycles of pain that get consciously and unconsciously passed down. The mother wound lives within us all. I'm going to list some things that shows a mother wound, and you tell me in the comments if this identifies for you. Have you ever struggled with self-doubt, asking yourself, am I good enough? Have you ever struggled with unworthiness, asking yourself, do I deserve love? Do I deserve success? Do I deserve happiness? Do you find yourself as a people pleaser, thinking, if I take care of others, I will be loved? Meaning that I have to do something to be loved. People just can't love me just as I am. These are the patterns that come from having a mother wound. And these patterns are deeply embedded in our subconscious, influencing our relationships, our self perception, and our ability to step into our power. So, how does the mother wound manifest? Do we just all have it? Well, I'd like to think most women have this mother wound, and it shows up in many ways, often shaping a woman's identity and her behavior. If you grew up with a critical or emotionally unavailable mother, anyone did? I know I did. If you grew up with a critical or emotionally unavailable mother, it can cause internalized self doubt, making it difficult to trust your own choices. If you grew up with a mother that was constantly second guessing herself, you as the daughter may inherit this pattern as well, feeling insecure about your voice, your abilities, or your decisions. I'm seeing a lot of women write yes in the comments. Thank you, ladies, for chiming in. If you had a mother that was emotionally distant or overburdened or dismissive, as a daughter, you may grow up feeling unseen and unimportant. Does that resonate for anyone? It can also create an unconscious belief that love must be earned, leading to overachieving, perfectionism, or a deep fear of failure. You know, many women were raised to believe that their value lies in serving others, a pattern deeply rooted in patriarchal conditioning. This manifests as struggling to set boundaries, overextending for others, and feeling guilty for prioritizing yourself. Does that resonate, ladies? I feel like it does because most women that I work with tend to struggle to set boundaries, and they do way too much for people that deserve very little. And then if they take a self care day, they feel so guilty for spending money on themselves. If you had a mother that struggled with low self esteem or sacrificed her dreams, as a daughter, you may unconsciously limit yourself to avoid surpassing your mother's achievements. Has anyone experienced that? This creates an inner conflict within you between wanting success and fearing rejection or guilt for being different. Many daughters fear guilt for surpassing their mother or doing better than their mother. Now, the mother wound is not just personal to your mother, it is also ancestral and societal. Women have inherited pain from generations of mothers who were forced into self sacrifice and silence. Mothers who lived with emotional repression, abuse, or neglect. Mothers who were denied autonomy, education, or freedom. I know many of us have grandmothers and great grandmothers that these things apply to. Don't think it wasn't passed down. It absolutely was, and it's in your DNA. Trauma is stored in the body. Do you believe that? And it's passed down epigenetically. So these unhealed wounds live within us. If our mothers and grandmothers were never taught to love themselves, how can we know how to love our own self? When you decide to heal your mother wound, what you're actually doing is a radical act of defiance and also allowing ancestral healing. By doing inner work, you can break cycles of pain and empower your future generations to embody self worth without guilt, to embrace their power without fear, to live with love rather than wounds guiding them. How many of you have daughters? I myself have sons. But for those of you with daughters, this is especially important work. You have to heal your mother wound so that you don't pass it down to your daughter. Healing is possible. The mother wound is not a life sentence. It's an invitation to rewrite your story through shadow work, womb healing, reparenting, and ancestral connection. We can heal past wounds and step into a life of wholeness, self trust, and empowerment. So now we're going to discuss how unhealed maternal wounds show up. Unhealed maternal wounds shape how we relate to ourselves, to others, to relationships, and to the world. When we carry unresolved pain from our mothers, whether due to generational trauma, emotional abandonment, or societal conditioning, it manifests in our behaviors, relationships, and self perception. Here's some ideas of how these wounds show up in different ways. Let's talk to those of you that are over nurturers. Can I see my over nurturers where you lose yourself in caregiving of others? Put a one in the comments. Let me find you. Thank you. I got one. I got two. I got three. I got four. And I got five. There we go. So, this is the mantra that is in your head. If I take care of everyone, I will be loved. Women with an unhealed mother wound often become overgivers, placing others' needs before their own. And this happens because of a variety of reasons. For instance, if you had a mother that modeled self sacrifice as love, right? How many of you saw your mother slaving over, the stove, cooking a meal for people to hungrily eat it down and not even say thank you? How many of you seen a mother work two, three jobs and pay all the bills for people, maybe children, maybe even yourself to be like, I want these shoes or I want this dress? How many of you have seen mothers just develop severe medical conditions from all the stress in their lives, right? That weighs on you, and then out of your guilt or out of your shame or out of your fear or your pity, you also embody it as well. Another way that you can become an over nurturer is if you believe that you can only receive love when you're being helpful, pleasing, or useful. The women that have this wound believe that they are unlovable, that there is something inherently wrong with them, and people just can't love them the way they are. So they feel like I have to do things. These are the women that get into relationships and buy things for their partners or take care of their partners, or they take care of their friends or spoil their friends. These are the women that will go to dinner and pay for everyone's meal. These are the women that will buy everyone Christmas presents and put themselves in debt. Can you see it now? Yes? Kathy says yes. And also, the over nurturing women are the women that were taught that being too much was unsafe. Don't be too ambitious. Don't be too independent. Stay safe. These are the reasons why women become over nurturers and lose themselves in the caregiving of others. How does it affect their life? They have a difficulty saying no. If they do say no, they feel really guilty about it. But what happens is they become very exhausted from always giving, always fixing, always supporting other people. And then, because this is the cycle they're in, they can run the risk of attracting relationships where they are the caretaker rather than the equal. Have you guys been through this before? You've also, as this kind of person, learned to suppress their own desires, passions, and needs for the sake of taking care of the needs of others. Cleo says, me. Yes. You guys might be wondering, why am I going so in depth about these mother wounds? Because I need you to identify with it. Because once you can identify with these wounds, then it's easier to heal it. So, for those of you that find yourself in the over nurturing category, your healing path is simple. You are to practice self care without guilt. You have to work on realizing and recognizing that your worth is not tied to how much you give, and to learn to set boundaries with compassion and firmness. For those of you that are in relationships that follow this route, I would challenge you to be in a relationship with your significant other and for a week, do nothing for them. I'm pretty sure your partners love you. Give them a chance to show you how much they love you without you doing a single thing for them. That may be hard, but it's something to do. Here is an affirmation for women who are the over nurturers. If you have a pen and paper, write this down. I am worthy of love, even when I put myself first. I am worthy of love, even when I put myself first. I am worthy of love, even when I put myself first. Now, let's look at another type of woman who struggles with unhealed mother wounds. The emotional neglect, struggling with self love. This person says, I am unworthy of love unless I prove myself. When a mother was emotionally distant, overly critical, or preoccupied with her own wounds, this daughter may grow up feeling unseen, unheard, or unimportant. By the way, ladies, if you identify more than one wound, that's okay. So, for the women that this wound applies to, let me see the ones in the comments. When you have a mother that's emotionally distant and you as a daughter grow up feeling unseen, unheard, or unimportant, this can lead to your difficulty trusting your emotions. Because when you were a child, your emotions were dismissed or ignored. Mandy said, this is definitely me. Thank you, Mandy. And we have a couple from YouTube. Thank you, ladies. So, you may also have a deep rooted fear of being too needy, too sensitive, or too much. And that leads to you living your life seeking external validation rather than self acceptance. Does this identify for anyone? Where you rather a partner or your friends or your work validate you rather than you validate yourself. So, how does this affect your life? You, the daughter that have this wound, may have a harsh inner critic, always doubting your worth. You may feel unworthy of love, unworthy of abundance, or even unworthy of success. And you may struggle with self compassion. You are quick to forgive others when they wrong you, but not so easy on yourself. You may have very superficial relationships, avoiding emotional vulnerability in relationships at all costs. Does this sound like you? Your healing path is to practice inner mothering by reassuring the wounded inner child with love. You can do this by embracing mirror work or speaking kind words to yourself daily. Your affirmation: my feelings are valid. I am enough as I am. My feelings are valid. I am enough as I am. Say these words to yourself daily. My feelings are valid. What you're doing there is affirming that your feelings count and they matter. I am enough as I am. Your mother didn't allow that for you, so you have to allow it for yourself. Yes, Mandy, your feelings are valid. You are enough as you are. Beautiful. Finally, I want to talk about the last daughter with the mother wound. the one that I think many of us can relate to, the one that fears failure or rejection, the control freak or perfectionist. This is for you. Your thinking is, if I am perfect, I wouldn't be abandoned. How many ladies can identify with that? For women who had critical, controlling, or unpredictable mothers, perfectionism becomes a survival mechanism. Did you know that? These ladies learned the hard way that mistakes equal punishment. You might have been beaten, you might have been scolded, you might have been reprimanded or punished. You feel the safest when you're pleasing, excelling, or performing perfectly. And you may develop hyper independence, believing that you have to do everything yourself. Jackie says, both of us. Yeah, I fall in this category as well. I feel like that's why I'm such a perfectionist, because the fear of failure, the fear of rejection is so strong that I have to get it right. Because if I get it right, then I will be liked, I will be loved. How does it affect your life? Well, you live in a constant fear of failure, judgment, making mistakes. Many of us have anxiety issues or insomnia from worrying so much. You may be a hard worker, overworking to prove your worth. You may struggle to trust others and delegate tasks, feeling if I do it myself, I'll do it correctly. And you may have extreme difficulty embracing rest, play, and imperfection. For those ladies, including myself, that struggle with this one, the healing path is simple. You have to release the belief that love must be earned. You have to practice self-forgiveness and allowing mistakes. Your affirmation, I am lovable even when I am not perfect. I am lovable even when I am not perfect. My final thoughts. Unhealed maternal wounds are not our fault, but healing them is our responsibility. When we acknowledge the patterns that hold us back, we take back our power. We learn to nurture ourselves without losing ourselves. We learn to love ourselves without seeking approval. And we learn to embrace perfection without fear. So as I come to the end of my talk, I will leave some time for Q&A if you ladies want to think of questions that you have. But before we get to that, I would love to end with a meditation and some journal prompts that you can either write out or sit in the meditation and think about them. You're welcome, Holly. I want to remind you that your womb, whether you have a physical womb or not, is the place of a spiritual energy center for women. And trauma, grief, and ancestral pain are stored there. The shadow work techniques that me as a healer use with my clients are journal prompts, encouraging journaling, meditation, crystals, and Reiki and energy work. The crystals I recommend my clients to use are moonstone, carnelian, and black obsidian for release. When you learn to heal your mother wound, whether with a healer or by yourself, it will lead to you having stronger intuition, deeper self love, and aligned relationships. Embodying the divine mother energy balances nurturing with boundaries, teaching you how to give, but not to give too much. And also, rituals and affirmations remind yourself that you can be rebirthed every day. So, we're going to do a meditation now. For those of you that are listening, I'm going to play a song. Okay. Can you hear me over the music? I want to make sure everyone can hear me over the music before we start. Thank you, Riz. YouTube, can you hear me? Oh my gosh. Welcome in something to my podcast. Welcome in. Okay, we're going to do this meditation to heal the mother wound. Okay. And I might just take the music off because I'm not really feeling the music right there. Okay, you guys can hear me. Okay. I'm going to play a different music that I know that TikTok and Meet Me can hear, but I want to make sure that YouTube can hear it as well and Facebook. Okay, everyone hear me? I need somebody from TikTok, Meet Me, Facebook, and YouTube to chime in. Okay, thank you, Meet Me. Thank you, TikTok. Can you guys hear the music as well? Okay, Jacqueline's very distorted. Is it better now, Jacqueline? Just distorted voice. Okay, so we're not going to do it with the music just because we don't want it to be distorted for YouTube. But this meditation, you guys can play some music in your background, and I'm just going to use the words, okay? So the first thing I want you to do is to close your eyes and take a deep breath in and out. Again, breathe in deeply, feeling the air expand within you. And exhale, releasing any tension within the body. With each breath, feel yourself sinking deeper and deeper into a place of peace and stillness. Just focusing on your breath. Nice deep breaths in and out. YouTube, is my voice still distorted? Or is it better now and you can hear the music? Okay, thank you. Now, bring your awareness to your womb space, the energetic center of your creativity, intuition, and deep feminine wisdom. You can take your hands and place them on your womb, or you could just envision sending love to your womb. Imagine a soft golden light glowing at the center of your womb. This light is warm, nurturing, and safe. It holds the energy of love, healing, and renewal. As you breathe, allow this golden light to expand, dissolving any tension, pain, or memories stored here. For some of you, you have not connected to your womb in a while, so you may feel emotions rising. Welcome them with love. If any words, images, or feelings surface, simply observe without judgment. Now we're just going to ask our womb some questions. Some of you may hear answers and you may not, but I'm just going to go through some questions and let's see what comes up. My dearest womb, what messages do you have for me about being a woman from my mother or maternal figures? What patterns have I inherited from my lineage? Self sacrifice, guilt, unworthiness, or something else? What do I need to say to my mother or mother figure that I've never expressed before? In what ways can you mother yourself in the way you've always needed? What creative energy is waiting to be born from your womb space? Now whisper to your womb, holding your womb, I release what no longer serves me. I embrace my power. I am whole. I release what no longer serves me. I embrace my power. I am whole. Feel the golden light wrapping around you like a warm embrace. Know that you are deeply loved, supported, and held by the divine mother energy. When you are ready, slowly bring your awareness back to the present moment. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And when you feel ready, open your eyes. You are reborn. You are free. You are whole. All right, ladies, come on back. And now we're going to open it up for discussion. So if anyone is on Meet Me or TikTok or YouTube or Facebook that would like to say anything about their experience in this talk today, please feel free to let me know. And if you have any questions or comments, now is a good time to ask your questions or comments about this topic, healing the mother wound. Do you recommend any books on this topic? I personally don't have any books to recommend. This topic tonight that I did came from my years of working with the mother wound for myself, for my clients. So this was just kind of created in my visual, my experience. But I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of topics or books. When I work with women in healing their mother wound, I tend to do coaching with them for a couple of weeks or a couple of months because I started realizing that the mother wound was a very deep wound. A couple of years ago, I've been a metaphysical teacher for 16 years. And in the beginning, I would teach people one day classes or, standalone things, thinking that that's all you needed was the knowledge. And then I realized that the knowledge meant nothing if the person didn't deem themselves worthy. For instance, if I taught a Reiki class and I could, at the end of the class, right, graduate someone with a Reiki certificate and they could go on to heal people and become a healer and set out. But rarely did that ever happen. What I found instead was many women struggled with their confidence, with their belief in themselves, with their beliefs in being a healer. Even though they trained, they took all the necessary classes, they still couldn't put themselves outside like that. So that's when I started creating my coaching programs where I work one on one with people to heal the mother wound issues. And then I also teach them the classes as well. So it's like a bit of both worlds. And that's how this topic came about healing the mother wound and understanding the shadow part of the womb healing. I hope that answers you, Holly. All right. If there's no other questions or comments, I want to thank all you ladies and gentlemen. I see some gentlemen in the comments for showing up for this topic tonight. I hope that you enjoyed it. And I want to just tell you, um, oh, my computer's frozen. So maybe that's why I can't see comments on YouTube. Oops. You're welcome, Tap Out. Did you enjoy it? Did you walk away with anything in your awareness about things to like look at or to address? Yeah, my computer's frozen. Yes. Okay, that's good. I think it's Chrome. I don't know what to do with this. All right, let me try to go in through my phone to YouTube because I cannot access. Oh, we have rain here in Virginia. Do you guys have rain where you're at? It's raining a lot. Okay, here it is. Okay, I could see Catherine said it's posing. Okay, here we go. I could see the comments now. Hi, ladies. I had to come in. Can you guys hear me? Even though my screen is stuck? Can you guys hear me? Okay, thank you. Because I had to come in on my phone. Hi, Majesty. So, okay, the question is, what is a good exercise or yoga pose to help release trauma? All of yoga is good for releasing trauma, but I like certain poses like child's pose, balasana. There's something about when I do child's pose, it just it's so vulnerable the position. Camel pose really opens up your heart chakra center, so though I don't have a specific sequence because I teach hatha yoga, which I am teaching this Sunday, by the way. It's a free by donations class on Sunday. And it's a beginner hatha yoga class where we do very slow movement because hatha yoga is more about like releasing that internal trauma, slowing down the anxiety, the heart rate, and just like being in the space, being in the space of the pose. I love hatha yoga more than vinyasa or any of the other Bikram or any of the other ones, because you get to like hold a pose in a comfortable position and hold it, and then your mind starts to go to things. It's funny because what I feel when I do hatha yoga is I feel like when I'm in the pose and I find a comfortable position to stay in that pose for like a minute, it's like almost like the memories that are locked in that area start to release because I start to think about the weirdest things. So yeah, that would be my recommendation is maybe try out a hatha yoga sequencing. You never did yoga before? Yeah, yeah. And there's different types. There's vinyasa, there's flow. So some yoga routines are meant to help you lose weight, but some of them, like the hatha yoga that I teach, is to stay in that moment and to process whatever it is that you're going through. So I have to go. I have to go to TikTok now to do my time on there. So TikTok, I'll be over there in like 2 minutes. But I want to remind everybody that this talk is uploaded to my YouTube channel. So if you have a friend that wants to know about the mother wound or the womb shadow healing journey, please refer them to my website, to my YouTube. They can just Google the Lotus in the Light. That's my channel. And if they go under the live videos, they'll find Uma Talks Healing the Mother Wound. I might actually make which like a playlist. I think that's what I'll do is I'll make a playlist of Uma Talks so that way it'd be easier for you guys to find. Okay. So I want to thank you guys so much. You're welcome, Catherine, Jackie. You're welcome, Erin. Thank you, ladies, for showing up. I appreciate all of you. I really hope that this information was beneficial. And for any one of you that is in the Virginia area, please feel free to reach out to me if you're wanting to do like spiritual healing, whether one session or a program to address the mother wound issues. All right. All right. I'm going to see you guys later. And for those of you that are on TikTok, I'm going to be over there in a few minutes. I just want to get like a drink of water and then I'll come over. And then for those of you on Meet Me, I'm going to be back at 10 p.m. to do the great debate.